Check 1, 2. Check 1. All right, first ride back after vacation. Just got done running some errands, put new wheels on the bike, Continental Grand Prix 5000s, both front and back, replacing gator skin on the back, and what came with it on the front, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But yeah, just replaced those, gave the bike a good clean. I was gonna relube my chain, but then I remembered I had just put a fresh coat on right before my last ride, before leaving for vacation. And that seems to have been the right decision. It's feeling very nice and smooth. I did not quite tighten the nuts on my rear wheel well enough, so it kind of came loose a little bit when I was riding around going to the bank and shit, enough that I threw my chain going down a hill. Thankfully that's all I did. Rear wheel kept spinning, so I was able to just kind of use my front brake and stop, really validating my decision to leave my front brake on, because that could have been a very, very different story if I didn't have it this morning. Or not morning, it was mid-afternoon, as you might be able to tell from the light. Anyway, today we're going to go check out this Millennium Park Kent Trails network. Maybe go all the way down to Johnson Park. We'll see how strong I'm feeling. Just coming off 4 days of skiing. Legs are a little tired. Really, it's just, you know, putting them through stresses they're not particularly used to. A little more strength intensive. Of course, me feeling tired earlier may have also just been me fighting against my slightly askew wheel. Passing on your left. Pardon.
Have a good one.
You too. But yeah, I haven't taken any video down here, at least not with the 360 camera. I tried to a couple times when it was still midwinter. Believe it or not, this is like tail end of winter, at least it's supposed to be right now. It is early March. Whew. But yeah, studded tires, unfortunately, were not enough to get me through or frankly even onto this trail system. It was so covered in ice, and the ice had been so pitted by various people using it, mostly people walking over it. But even like, you know, I'm guessing some kind of e-bike with studded tires was pulling through there. Looked like maybe some fat tire bikes had left impressions. Not good for a dude on a single speed bike, fixed gear bike no less, on studded tires. Ice was no problem. Pits were gonna kill me. And it was terrifying just going on it. One of my videos, one of the early ones, right when I first got the 360 cam, I'm riding along the same stretch of road you'll probably see at the beginning of this video. But it was obviously covered in ice and snow. And the parts where it was flat, namely the parts next to the road, where I'm guessing people hadn't really been using it, it was not bad. I could get through it. It was just, you know, hard packed snow and ice. Exactly what those studs are intended for. But once I got closer, well, actually, once I got onto the trail proper, where it breaks off from the road, that's when it's just completely pitted. And by the time I had gotten to it, it had like just rained and it got all slushy a little bit, and then got super cold again and refroze. So it was effectively impassable, or close enough that I didn't want to risk it. Now, as you can see, it is nice and open. And while it's not as lovely as it usually looks, I am very, very happy to be here. It is a bit of a scenery switch coming from the top of the fucking mountain in Vail to coming back to late winter, early spring swamps and rivers of Grand Rapids. But we love it. And even if you don't, it's just a precious few more weeks before this all starts turning green. Sure, my lips are all chapped. Meant to put on Carmex before recording this, but you know, life. Hands are all nice and oily too. Playing with my chain. And that is not a euphemism. I suppose maybe the playing part is. Well, you know what? Either that was just early complaining for my legs, or my other theory is right, that I was accidentally fighting against my wheel being slightly askew, and that's why I was feeling really tired earlier. I feel much better now. Having a grand old time. Ooh, accidentally grabbing my mic. Sorry about that. I'm used to keeping this thing clipped to my helmet because honestly I was only concerned about incidentally picking up audio in case I got into it with a driver or something. But now that this is more of a dedicated recording device for me, I try to at least position it sort of properly. And then I forget, and then I claw at it like a dumbass, which I'm sure sounds lovely on the actual video. Saddle's feeling a touch uncomfortable. When I was setting up earlier today, it seemed low. I feel like I always kind of accidentally lower my seat in the winter. I also want to look at this mount I'm using because I was doing some recording after my sunset ride video, and this carbon pole that holds the camera up, it's got like a pivot with a little twist screw at the bottom to tighten it down, and that thing fell right into my front tire. I had the normal lens guards on, thank fuck. One of them took enough damage that I had to buy new ones, so I went ahead and upgraded to the premium. That's what I've been using for all of the skiing videos that I probably haven't uploaded yet. Ooh. But you should be seeing maybe one or two of those. I haven't looked at all the footage. Some of it didn't turn out so great. My first time trying to do any kind of video in skiing conditions. Obviously, I've been out in the snow and it wasn't bad. But skiing, particularly up in the mountains, particularly with the extremes of degrees that you get. I bought like an anti-fog kit that has a seal for the lens protector and everything. Special like anti-fog wipes, which I stupidly didn't use, so of course it fogged, at least a little bit. Kind of ruined some of the videos, no big deal. I was fully prepared to sorry, I don't like talking in front of people. Makes me look like a crazy person. Crazier anyway. Anyway, I was fully prepared to lose most of if not all of the footage I captured. A lot of it I was out there with family. My brother has a couple daughters and a son. And I really just wanted to get some footage of them for the family more than anything else. I will not be posting those videos publicly. They are private, they're for family only. But if you know someone in my family, maybe ask them and they can get you a link. In any case, some of the kid ones turned out great. They really did. They looked really cool. And it's just gorgeous out there. It really is. And we had perfectly fantastic weather for recording specifically. Beautiful blue skies. Plenty of snow. Conditions were just fine. Little bit of slush later in the day because it was just getting warm. But for the most part, just full on best of both worlds skiing. Good conditions, good amount of snow, very, very little ice. And I was frankly overheating. It was too warm. By the last day, I was wearing a snowsuit still, but I had nothing but a super lightweight sleeveless running shirt on underneath it. Had all my vents open and was flirting with the idea of zipping my jacket halfway down. I didn't. Going downhill, it was still cold enough that it wasn't worth it. But just to give you an idea, beautiful, just fantastic. Couldn't have asked for nicer. Passing on your left. All right, here we go. Yeah, I honestly expected to be more winded. Apparently I've been doing something to at least stay halfway in shape. One thing I do like about this time of year, that corner is very green and very difficult to see what, if anything, is coming from that trail to the right, or even from the boat launch that's there, frankly. So usually I've got to really control my speed down that hill. Otherwise, yeah, you never know what's going to meet you at the bottom. And it is steep. It comes to a sharp end. This time of year, I can see right through all the naked branches. Which is good, because I really didn't feel like breaking all the way down that hill. So I think, I don't know, trying to decide what I want to do for the second half of this. So I think I'm just going to ride out and back. I can either turn around and go back the way I came. I'll probably go back around the other side of the little lake that's there, just to keep a little variety. Other option is there's a road turned bike trail on the other side of the river that I like to go down, but it's pretty fucking boring, at least in terms of ride footage. And I mean, I'll talk, but I'm not that entertaining. Yeah, I think that's a call. I think we'll go back this way and then just go along the other side of the lake. So that'll be a pretty good coverage of the Millennium Park Trails in particular. Get a good idea of the main thrust. Big trail network that mostly goes around that big lake. I'll probably, I'll swing through the pavilion, give you a look at the pavilion. Big event space. People always love to hold weddings and shit there. Me, I never saw the appeal. And weddings, I mean. Mom explained it to me once when I was 9. Sounds gross. This stretch over here, it's a fun little hill to bomb. It's funny because most of the serious cyclists will take the road over here, which I get. It's faster. You've got some shoulder, so it's not too dangerous, particularly if you're fast. Oh, I see one now. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the footage, but there's a cyclist coming towards me. Full spandex, naturally. Out on the road, which again, great, like full support. It's not what it's about. Just like for me personally, I love climbing up that hill, and secondly, most importantly, I love going down this one. I'm not gonna be able to bomb it. I already see a kid in my way, so that was going to be cool. Oh, they're in the grass. Never mind, we're going. Nope, they're not in the grass anymore. I got a little going. Actually, there's jackasses standing right in the middle of the trail. Good place for a meeting, right? So if you look to the right, or rather if I make you look to the right, there is a Lookout Hill over there. This is Johnson Park, by the way. Welcome. It's big and it's got lots of grass. And a fun little section of path to go down. Anyway, Lookout Hill over to the right. One of the most challenging climbs around here, and that's not saying much. But one of these days, we'll take the 360 cam out on it. I have a couple of older videos with some helmet cam footage of me riding it. I believe just on my road bike. Can't remember off the top of my head. But I've also ridden it on this bike and on my steel frame fixed gear. Back when I had road tires on it. These days I mostly use it as an off-roader / winter beater. And I frankly wouldn't want to do that to myself. That doesn't sound like fun. I might go up the slow way. So that's the other thing, is coming up from this side, it's a straight climb. Mark. Okay. Not sure how much footage I lost there. Must have accidentally hit the button at some point. Moving the camera around. Still kind of fiddling with mounts. Having a little trouble. Sometimes keeping them locked down properly, you know. You know how it is with new hardware you're unfamiliar with. figuring out the limitations, how exactly you're supposed to use it, all the little fiddly bits. I suspect you heard my story earlier. Well, you definitely heard it. Question is whether the video recorded. About this mount tipping over on me and fucking up the lens protector. But I hope, because it's illustrative of my point that I was just making. And I've already entirely forgot because I'm climbing up this fucking hill really slowly like an asshole. All right. I am hungry. Probably do. I promised to show you the pavilion. Again, not sure if you heard that. Go do that. Go have myself a little fig bar snack. Passing on your left. After my ride today, probably gonna have a nice, big, greasy, whatever the fuck I want meal. Maybe with a little bit of sweets. We'll see how I feel. And then after that, we'll probably start dialing in the diet a little more. Trying to get ready for the actual riding season. I always talk like that, and my friends think, oh, like, you're getting really into racing, you're gonna get down to race weight and shit. And I'm like, look at me, I'm fat. I just like to go fast. I like to go fast, I like to have fun. And I think I found a pretty good balance between the two. Not starving myself, though I have been there. Frankly, it wasn't worth it. Didn't look any better than I do now, and in many ways I looked worse. And I felt like shit. Healthy body weight is important. Also important to remember there are two sides to that coin. Also important to remember that if you're not enjoying life, what the fuck's the point?
Right.
Unfortunately, that kind of soundbite is the kind of thing to be taken out of context too. Used to justify all sorts of things. Maybe I just shut my damn mouth. Maybe just, disclaimer over everything. Most of my opinions aren't about you. Mostly about me. Sometimes not even that. Particularly when I'm riding my bike, sometimes I'm just spitting shit, you know? You ever tried talking to however many fucking people watch this video while maintaining a 160 BPM, huh? See, you try it. I obviously don't. I'm not going that hard. I'm not going that hard. I'd be talking a lot less if I were. Maybe 110, 120. Not only that, because I'm kind of out of shape. This speed, I really should be like maybe 100. Let's ask the watch, shall we? 138. Aerobic. Oh, no, we promised the other side of the lake, didn't we? Plus, this is a nice view. It'll be nicer in a little while. A little bit of a Copro history, digging into the old rat bastard archives here. But I've spent a lot of time on these trails. I want to say over a decade at this point. Yeah, almost for sure, because I bought my first new proper bike in 2010 when I moved back to Grand Rapids from Chicago. Jamis Allegro 2X. Not a great bike, but for someone trying to keep up the habit, moving away from Chicago where it was how I got places, and moving back to Grand Rapids where you can't fucking live without a car. It fucking sucks. Just wanted to make sure I kept riding. And due to what I strongly suspect has been a lifelong case of time blindness, which is a concept I just learned of, but which immediately resonated with me, because I'm pretty sure I've been living with it my entire life. Wait, what was I originally talking about? Before I got distracted by time blindness. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. Time blindness because of something. Anyway. Let's just ride for a bit, shall we? Use a little water. Now, switching gears, since I completely forgot what I was talking about. Lakes looks pretty on this side. Looking kind of brown on the other side, but over here looks bluer. Also looks like it might still be partially frozen. Yeah. Yeah, it's melted away at the edges, but the center is still mostly frozen. Oh yeah. Getting animalistic with it. Alright. I could cut and keep left. Add a little bit of distance. Cut back through to the pavilion. And then cut back to the river and take that out. Or we can cut right to the pavilion up here and then maybe cut back out to the left on our way out, which again, as I'm saying it, I'm already liking the second idea better. So that's what we're gonna do. Not a speedy ride today. The seat post feeling a little uncomfortable. Need to fuck around with that. Passing on your left. Get a better look at it there. It's not long for this world, but still a little ice there. All right, straight on through to the pavilion for a quick break. And then back on home. Get something greasy for dinner. I'm thinking a burger. Passing on your left. Doubt either one of them heard me at all. Wait, it sounded like she was screaming as I passed her. Just telling a story, but passing on your right. Take a quick lap around it. Maybe later in the season we'll do a similar route. Well, maybe. I will do that route over and over and over and over again this summer, most likely. The question is, will I record it? Give you guys a little compare and contrast between brown and withered and green and lovely. But yeah, this is the pavilion I was talking about, if it got recorded. Very popular spot. People rent it for weddings, events, all of that. There are all sorts of races, mostly foot races, running, stuff like that. Walkathons. A lot of them will come through and or start or end here. Grand Fondo race out of Grand Rapids that I personally did a couple years ago. The most, I think just the base level version, they're just kind of pay to participate version of it is mostly through here. All right. Yeah. Pavilion. I will show you the front real quick. And have a snack. Little statue. Grant Pavilion at Millennium Park. All right. Home again. Home again. Okay. Yeah, a little uncomfortable on the saddle. I'll have to fiddle with that. Never-ending adjustments. That's more adjusting to my weird and ever-changing body. Pretty sure that was one of the mechanics at my bike shop. But I'm not going to hassle him. Man's a local celebrity. Leave him alone. I want to go all fangirl. Woo. Windy. It's all right. My last downtown Grand Rapids bike ride video, first one with the mic, was all like that. As a baseline, and then it got worse. Wind seems to have calmed. No, there he picks back up again. Yeah, it's still pretty frozen. Somebody told me it hit like 73 here the other day, but I guess wasn't enough to completely thaw out these little lakes that I'm sure have been frozen all the way to the bottom. Well, maybe not all the way, but because I've been past a couple. Well, fuck, I flew over a couple that have very clearly thawed all the way out. I don't know. Probably hard to tell from a few thousand feet in the air. Hell, with these ones, I didn't even clock it until it's a couple hundred feet away. Passing on your left. You know what I think I was doing? My time blindness story. I was talking about my first bike. Wow. My first new bike. Chose for myself, not a co-op purchase or a hand-me-down or some supermarket bullshit. My first selected for me after doing my own research bike. I think I already mentioned James Allegro 2X. I purchased it in 2010. I believe the model was the 2009 version. Got a little bit of a discount on it since it was last year's model. So yeah, I either bought it in 2011 and it was a 10, or I bought it in 10, it was a 9. I think it was a 10 and 9 because I earned a lot of that money working for the census in 2010. But again, time blindness. So the timeline is somewhat fuzzy. We're gonna go left. Go a little longer. Slow ride today. So yeah, And I actually, this isn't paid product placement, I promise, but bought that bike from a local company called, appropriately enough, Grand Rapids Bicycle Company. My dad worked for Celebration Cinema, and they had their store in the same little plaza that they had one of their flagship theaters at. Celebration Village in East Beltline. Right by Knapp's Corner, if you're familiar. So yes, first full-on bike purchase, and honestly, didn't think anything of them in particular at the time. They just had Jameses. I knew I wanted a James, so I went to them. All right, pause. Also going to pause for a bit of a climb here. Whew. All right, so I didn't think, like I said, much of it at the time. And to be perfectly frank, even after riding for a few years in Chicago and having it be my main source of transportation even year round, I was shit to my bikes. I did not take care of them. I did not get them tuned up properly. I didn't clean them properly. I didn't do shit. So I noted, because they obviously talked to me about it. First off, I don't know if I mentioned it, I spent about $1,000 on the bike. Bought toe cages for it. No clip-ins, but some kind of toe retention. Started building up to like 20-mile rides for the longest time, and then eventually up to 30 as just like my baseline ride, which I still do. But I knew at that point, once I started putting on that kind of distance and realized that that's how I like to have fun, is to go out for a few hours of riding at a time, I knew it was time to finally get a real road bike. Anyway, that's a story for another day. Because I moved on pretty quickly from there to fixed gear, which is where you'll probably notice I'm currently featuring a lot of on my channel. Anyway, back to Grand Rapids bicycles. I didn't even, when they were still at that location, I never came back to them, I don't think even once. Maybe once to get like a tube or a new tire or incidental shit. By the time I was even looking to get work done on that bike, they were gone from that location. Well, no, actually, hold on. Again, time blindness, but I'm assuming, I think I remember this correctly, because I moved down to the west side of Grand Rapids, which is pretty far away from them. Most notably, there are a couple of shops that are closer. And like I said, I wasn't taking proper care of my bike. I don't think I got it tuned up at all the first few years I had it until it started breaking. Usually nothing too serious. Just wore out chain rings real fast. Was shit at taking care of my brake pads, would burn through those real fast. Chains would break a lot. And because I was riding so much and sitting really upright, because again, it was a hybrid bike with crossbars. I didn't change anything on the stock hardware. I was putting a lot of weight onto my back wheel and ended up breaking it. Had to buy a reinforced one. But that was at that point, that was around the time when, again, so again, timeline weirdness. I don't make it easy for myself either, because I moved back down here to the west side, lived in a place with some friends for a few years. After moving back from Chicago, but then eventually had to move back in with my parents again due to various factors, mostly financial. All right, pause again. Passing on your left. Homie's got a stick. Considerate cyclist, my goodness. All those people being nice to each other, shit. What is this world coming to? Should have gone over the new pavement. Oh well. We'll go back through the tunnel of reeds instead. Maybe we will. Ooh. Nah. We'll show the parking lot at a later date. Show that new tarmac over there. Oh yeah, I wonder how well this will show. Yeah, that's still there. I wonder how well you can see that on camera. Yeah, chat, you didn't see, or if it's not visible in the video, or if I go by too fast. There is again, pause. There is some very not safe for work and potentially not safe for YouTube graffiti on the path, drawn in something black, and it's been there for like 2 fucking years now. They've tried to clean it off a couple of times before, but it is not fucking coming out. And yeah, like I said, maybe you can't see it in the video, but in person, oh my fucking god, it is clear as fucking day. And it's hilarious. I mean, I haven't really paid attention to most of it, but the most obvious glaring thing is just a giant fucking cock and balls. Just like big, crude, thick black lines like a fucking 9th grader drew it. It's fucking beautiful. The Reyes Coca-Cola bottling plant. Their drivers seem to have a fundamental misunderstanding of how bike lanes work. Not atypical among, fucking anyone behind the wheel of a car, you know. You know how it is. No nod from the roadie. Where is the love, homie? Where is the love? Why am I riding on the street? It is, what? March 12th. We still got Christmas decorations out. Who am I to judge? Holy shit. Apparently we're about to hit 21 miles, chat. Can I get a yeehaw? Can I get to move your fucking minivan out of the road? Damn. Amazing how much ground you can cover when you don't have fucking intersections to deal with. knew I heard a crotch rocket. You know, I still think one of the really great missed cultural moments of the last, oh God, I don't know how long it's been, 20 years, was when South Park fucked up calling out the shitty, obnoxious behavior of motorcyclists by tying it to their defense of the use of the F slur. In evidence, I might present the somewhat both circumstantial and subjective evidence that I certainly feel that type of obnoxious behavior has now spread to all manner of road users. Could have nipped it in the bud. But instead you had to try and tie it to your right to be mean to gay people, I guess. Just can't have anything nice. And of course, I believe we've taken you through this archway before, YouTube. This is Grand Valley University, Pew campus. Yeah, Grand Valley's campus down here is also quite lovely. I think I'll just take the tried and true path down the Blue Bridge and go home. We'll get the full climb because I fucking hate myself. Jackasses everywhere.